Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Jimmy and this is the 2026 Kia Sportage or Sportage depending on where you're from. This here is the X-Line Limited, the top trim for the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. You can still get a hybrid and a plug-in hybrid variant for the Sportage itself. But let me tell you everything you need to know about this, including all the things that's new for 2026. A big change is right up front. The grille, the bumper, that's all different, along with the headlights. Gone are the boomerangs, but you still get this amber daytime running light. It definitely is different, but it still suits the Kia lineup. On the side, well, we got these 19-inch wheels that are quite squared off and blocky looking, but with different trims, those do vary. And of course, if you're not a big fan of them, you can obviously go aftermarket. We got blacked out mirror caps as well as blacked out roof rails, going with that kind of sportier vibe that this is giving off. You do get proximity door locks on the front doors, but sadly not on the rear. And then back here, well, the changes are minimal, but you get different tail lamps and the bumper treatment's a little bit different as well. I think it's still a good looking vehicle. There's nothing wrong with it. It fits definitely a lot better inside that Kia kind of lineup, especially without the boomerang headlights the previous generation get. If we open up the trunk, it opens to 37 cubic feet of space. Plenty for most families' needs. There's a bit more storage underneath the floor. You do get a compact spare there. And of course you can fold down the rear seats 60-40 with these levers here. So it's nice and easy for you to get longer items inside the vehicle. But let's check out the back seats. Back here, headroom, legroom, both isn't a problem. Actually, quite spacious. If I want, I can lean the seats back a little bit more so I can just recline a little bit. The seats are heated, but no cooling, no massaging back here. This isn't one of those vehicles, but you still get vents right here as well as a USB-C port so you're able to charge your devices. For groceries and other stuff, well, there's a hanger right here for your coat. There's a hanger right here for your groceries. They designed these things built into the vehicle to make life a little bit easier. Of course, you get your cup holders and armrests right in the center. It's actually very comfortable back here. The only thing I would say is the sills maybe a little bit higher. So if your child seat is a little bit lower, well, your child might not get the best view out. But if you're thinking of putting child seats in here, I am a child passenger safety technician, and I do want to show you exactly how well child seats fit. On the driver's side, this is a collect lane. No issues getting an infant carrier in here. The doors open wide enough for you to gain access to the cabin to allow you to put that infant carrier inside. On the passenger side, this is a collect fifth in rear facing. I didn't have to move the front seat that far forward. Here's myself, I'm 5'11". I still fit well enough in front of a rear-facing child seat, so really shouldn't be a problem. And as your child gets a little bit older, they go forward-facing, like this collect fifth that I have. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem as your child grows. And once they get to an age where they don't need the child seats, they can enable the heated seats and stay nice and warm during the winter months. But let's move up front. Up here, first thing I gotta say is just wow. This interior is really, really nice. Kia has certainly stepped up their games in terms of just overall interior design. This is very nice. But let's start off with these seats. The seats they're not leather, they're pleather, but it's fine. They're soft enough, they're heated, they're cooled on this upper trim, and they do have a two-way lumbar support as well. They're perfectly adequate for most people. In front, this steering wheel is a little bit of an octagonal shape. It's a little bit different. It is 2 spokes, so you can rest your hands on the bottom or on the top while you're driving. It's a little bit different as it's kind of that convex shape. So the airbag in the center actually is a little bit more protruded than the wheel itself. So the buttons may be a little bit difficult to press, but over time, I'm sure you're going to get used to it. Behind that, you do get a fully updated panoramic view digital display. The display is now larger and more legible than before. You also even get a heads-up display so you can, well, get your speed up there. Because of the heads-up display, I found that they moved the main display a little bit lower. You actually get a little bit better view of the dash in front as well. The infotainment, there's over-the-air updates now. There's wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, even on the base model. So you're able to connect your phone, do all the things that you normally would. It's honestly a great system. no real issues there. The only thing that's a little bit annoying is the climate control. While there is a dedicated screen just below for your climate control, it toggles between climate control and infotainment controls. So with a button press, well, it changes from a volume knob to climate control knob. And it just means that you gotta take your eyes off the road to see where that setting is. Within the infotainment menu, you can make it so that it sticks on one. So it can stick onto infotainment or it can stick onto the climate control. So even if you switch it in a few seconds afterwards, it does flip back. So at least there's an option in there for you, but still, it's not my favorite implementation of their climate control. But I still think this is better than the newest one that you can see in like the Kia EV4 and EV5. That one with the screen in the center, I'm not sure about that one just yet. But what's nice is in the center, you still get a full-on console with a normal shifter. You're able just to shift. It's easy. Anyone can literally get in and not have to look down to shift gears. It's kind of crazy. In the world of 2025, there's so many different types of shifter that you can't just shift by feel anymore. You have to look down. This, well, at least you don't. You get some cup holders that can fold away if you don't need, and of course, a cubby in the center for all your knickknacks and whatnot. Let's talk about the powertrain, then go for a drive. Underneath the hood of this is a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder. Unlike the hybrid and plug-in hybrid variant that gets a power bump, the naturally aspirated 4-cylinder still makes the good old 187 horsepower and 178 pound-feet of torque. Made it to that 8-speed automatic and all-wheel drive. Once you're on the road, you'll find the downfall with this 2.5 liter immediately. Because, well, let me demonstrate. I'm going to slow down to basically a crawl here, and then I'm going to floor it. Slow is an understatement. Now, yeah, I've been in a few EVs lately, and so my perception of speed may be a little bit off, but this takes like a full, almost like 9 seconds to reach highway speeds. 9 seconds! That's a very long time. But once you're there, it's fine. And the 2.5 liter is, I mean, with no turbos and no hybrid system, it is the more simplistic engine, which generally means it's a little bit more reliable. So there's that. Throw it into some corners and, I mean, it's fine. But you do feel that the suspension is very soft. I mean, this is more testing the tires than anything else at this point. But over a bump, you definitely feel like the vehicle is just a little bit too soft for what it should be. It should have a little bit more body control. Maybe if the dampers were just a little bit stiffer. But as it is, it's a perfectly fine vehicle for everyday driving, for family needs. This, almost no faults, other than this climate control mess. Like, I can't stand that. But other than that, you know what? This is actually a very, very good car. And when you're driving longer distances, well, you're going to be using all the safety features that this vehicle has, like highway driving assist, lane centering, and all that good stuff. And it's a Kia. All that stuff just works really, really well on this. So you don't have to worry. You can, not saying that you should fully nod off while you're driving, but if you're a little bit tired, you don't have to be fully alert while driving. The system can help you. I'm not saying the system will be there for you 100% of the time, because even I know no system is perfect, but it's there to help you when you need to. What's not to love? And that is something I want to ask you guys, the audience, because, well, looking at the sales numbers, the Sportage is just not doing all that well. And it's not because it's priced higher than others, because at like 48,000 Canadian is just in line with like the RAV4, the Tucson and whatnot. So pricing wise, it's very similar, but sales numbers, it just doesn't get to, well, where the others are kind of reaching. The Tucson is outselling it, the RAV4, the CRV, the CX-5. Yeah, why? I don't really get it. But in any case, let me know what your thoughts are on the Sportage in the comment section down below. Is this something that's worth looking into a little bit more? Is it not? Are there something that just I don't know about? Let me know in the comment section down below. But I'll catch you next time. Take care.